Ooh, the 5th anniversary units, Goku and Frieza. I have a complaint. Huh? But not really a complaint, really, because I actually like the unit. I think they're so good looking, man. If you don't think they're good looking, there's something wrong with you. They clearly have the best LF in the game, and they are definitely a valid unit. They are a good unit. I want to emphasize they are a good unit. I'm going to say it 3 times for you. They are a good unit, and I like this unit. But there is something that I am quite disappointed with, and I want you guys to give you guys' thoughts in the comment section for this video. The thumbnail was a bit exaggerated, of course, but that's how YouTube is. Game is game. Game is game. But yeah, hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this video, man. If you haven't already, make sure to press that subscribe button. We're on this grind to 50,000 subscribers. This is a genuine critique, or more so, if anything, just expressing how I feel about this Goku and Frieza. And you guys feel free to leave your thoughts down below in the comment section below. And if you want to have a further discussion, follow me on Twitter. Out of all of the places on Twitter, I'll be making tweets about units, and they are the first to get my thoughts on anything. So follow me on Twitter. It's down below on the bottom left, so it's my right, your left. Follow me on Twitter. But yeah, let's actually get into this video. Twitter. Okay, so I know by now we've all seen this miraculous duo, which is ironic because their unique ability 1 is actually called miraculous duo. We've seen that they are a tag unit, which is different from every other tag unit we've seen in the game, because they are actually completely different elements, and they're not just the reverse. If you don't understand what I mean, Goku is actually purple and Frieza is blue, whereas if we take the tag 4s, which are green, they don't apply the same principle. I'm just going to explain that quickly. So with the green, you're strong against blue, weak against purple, but if you're reverse, you're strong against purple, weak against blue. But with the tag unit here, they're actually a completely different element. So purple is obviously strong against green but weak against yellow, but blue is not the reverse of that. Blue is strong against red and then weak against green, which is completely on its own thing. But on top of that, the bigger thing about them is that they have a gauge which literally negates rising rushes. That's the main things about their kit, more different than anything else. Other than that, they have their own gimmicks and whatnot that's able to make them fight and actually be a competitor in PvP, which actually makes them a good unit, such as their damage stacking that Goku has. Also the fact that they get stronger the more you tag switch. Things like that are actually just very, very good. I like Frieza's blast armor too, which is obviously something on top of that that makes them quite exceptional. That's a quick rundown on their kit, and now I'm going to dive into what my disappointment is, and I want to make the discussion of it so that you guys can actually hear what I have to say. Okay, so I've got 2 main points for my disappointment, and I want to point out that it's just slight disappointment. It's not like the world's gonna end because of the points I'm gonna make, but it's something that makes the unit feel a bit lackluster for me in comparison to at least the ultra factors that we have in the game. And it's quite disappointing that ultras are so powerful in the way that they are, and then we have these legends limits that kind of just get swept under the rug unless they're your personal favorite. Clearly GoFrieza are not my personal favorite, but I cannot deny that this unit is aesthetically pleasing to the brim with the best LF animation in the game. But where I'm going to talk about first is actually their unique gauge, the first unique gauge to actually counter a rising rush. Here in the second unique ability, fight to decide one's fate, you can see if you scroll down here, you says while this character is in one of the following states, if own unique gauge is at 1% or above, consumes entire unique gauge to counter enemies rising rush, and it activates once. Slide moving or standing still, sidestepping to left or right, receiving an attack, changing cover, and then it says excludes abnormal conditions and special states caused by certain arts. Own unique gauge will disappear after counter activates once. This character's unique gauge gradually decreases while they're on the battlefield or on standby. Counter will not activate when changing cover if the enemy has buff effect, nullifies enemy special actions that activate when changing cover. That's the main bit of their kit about how their actual unique gauge works, so that they're able to actually counter rising rushes. And then you see the literal punch animation where Goku and Frieza are beating the hell out of you, like Yuji and Nanami in JJK. I know you've seen that clip. It's a viral clip.
Follow me! Get him up, let him get up, let him get up, let him get up.
It's funny as hell. But yeah, that's how their gauge works, right? Okay, so here's where my disappointment settles in. I feel like their gauge is not even useful outside of being a rush deterrent, and I feel like the main reason about that is because the value in the gauge lies within the decisions made by the other opponent. and that really shafts a unit, and we've seen it before. So the example I'm going to use in this case is LF Jiren. We all know that LF Jiren, his whole potential lies between a decision made by the enemy on if they're going to rush anybody on your team. So if the enemy does not rush at all, Jiren doesn't do anything. He doesn't get his endurance, he doesn't become stronger. He's literally the most average sparking ever. There are a few exceptions, obviously, if you get him high stars and you put everything and your heart into him, but most people are not doing that for Jiren. So with that being said, the average Jiren in PvP is literally not going to be a top tier contender, and I can say that with full chest because everybody knows that's the case. Not saying GoFrieza are anywhere near Jiren, because GoFrieza, even without using their gauge, they are still an amazing unit. The tag feature is still very effective and they have really good teams. Their kit overall is very, very good, but with their gauge, the potential of it is literally just locked, because they can actually just get rushed even on a cover change. So let's say I actually rush, let's say there's a Beast Gohan that's running with them, just for sake. I rush Beast Gohan, but they cover change into GoFrieza. Most units in the game have cover nullification, so the impact is not going to be major. Literally, as soon as they cover change, they're going to get hit with that Rising Rush and they're going to die as long as they don't pick it. They don't have anything that makes them insanely defensively strong. They don't have anything that specifically deters them from dying after rush. They don't have endurance or revival. So with that being said, in the chances that you will see their rush negation, very, very slim niche scenarios, you'll rarely ever see it happen. And if you do see it happen, you're probably in a niche scenario, like I just said, 1v3 or something where the person pretty much had to rush, and even then you're still put in a 1v3 situation, so it's not like it really saved you, it kind of just kept you alive a bit longer. In other scenarios, unless you're playing a really incompetent player, I would say definitely in the god rank area, people are just not going to rush anyways because there's so much rush deterrent on almost every team. But I will actually give them props in the next segment of this video. But I feel like most teams anyways, so for example Kid Buu, he can cancel rush nullification, but because he has endurance, so he's fine on that end. But GoFrieza don't have anything like that, so as long as you get them on the cover change, you can get them. Other than that, they're just a regular tag unit, and that's not me dissing tag units, because tag units are not essentially bad. It's just that their gauge wastes potential in their kit, because all it does is counter the rush, but most people are not going to rush because it's like they're saying, hey, I have a rush counter, don't rush me because I'll counter your rush.
Oh, say less.
It's not like it's a secret. It's not a secret. Everybody's aware of it, and because of that, it's a lot of wasted potential. It should have been a lot more in some sense. I don't know how they would do that. I'm not here to give ideas. I'm just explaining what I can see and how it actually works. This would have no impact on what star level you're on. It's just simply the fact that the rush negation, the counter, the gauge in whole, it's wasted potential, because in most cases you won't see it go off unless you're fighting a real incompetent player. And I feel like anybody can see that in most cases, especially if you fight higher than BR70, so god rank up, chances are you're not going to get rushed. Now this one is not really a disappointment factor, but I know the GoFrieza haters are going to eat this one up and they're going to use it as ammo. And I've seen ZVG actually mention this, especially if for the people that are arguing for their sake in whether they're actually a top 4 or 5 unit, right? I'm not giving my place on that right now, but I will say the element choice is very, very convenient. Now with the element choice, yeah, it gives them the Zenkai buffs of hell. It's honestly the 2 elements that have the most profitable Zenkai buffs in the game. So of course, with those 2 elements being in the game, for this unit together, not reverse, 2 different elements, the Zenkai buffs are gonna buff them to hell, and they're gonna appear a lot better than they actually are individually. We've seen them in other cases through other units such as Blue Bros. Blue Bros right now are nowhere to be seen. Mono Purple cannot save them. They cannot be saved by Mono Purple and their 5 times Zenkai buff. It's tough. But that took a while to happen because of power creep. But the Zenkai buffs had them on a platform, and with the boost, PvP boost, this unit here is flourishing. But will I say they will live for a long time? I cannot say that for sure. I actually can't. I really can't. Which is what's so like, But at the same time, should we really fault them for just being profitable elements? It's not their fault they're blue and purple. And I also want to point out that really and truly most teams run Zenkai buffs anyway, so it shouldn't be a complaint. But I just felt like it was very convenient, and a point I just wanted to point out. Like if you run them on purple, you got Zenkai buffs galore. If you run them, and just for the scenario, right, I think there's only like 3 Saiyan Zenkai buffers that are purple. so you get your extra run from the blue section, you know what I'm saying? And it just works very well. It's not just the Goku that gets one of the tags as well. So you can see Goku has the Frieza Force and LOE tag, and then Frieza has the LOE tag, I mean the Saiyan tag in the Sun family. So like you can put a blue Zenkai buffer that would work for Goku because Frieza's a Saiyan. So you can mix and match it, which is actually insane, making them appear way better than they might actually be if they just had the regular reverse, you know? They'd only have one side of the Zenkai buffs, but because they're both, they get double the options. So you know they had to double it. And I find that insane, but that's good for them. That's actually good for them. So shout out GoFrieza for being the first unit with 2 elements. You're like that. I can't do nothing about it. I'm not hating, but hey, the GoFrieza haters are gonna spin that one and say you have to rely on Zenkai buffs. But I just wanted to bring it up. Now, outside of my disappointment, I do want to say that if you're running them on Universe Rep, which most people are actually not, I don't be seeing them on that team, to be honest, but the few guys that do, they will actually reap the fruits of that labor. I'm not going to lie. Hit 17 and this unit here, that trio is a Universe Rep perfection team, bro. There's no other variation of the Universe Rep team that really fight how that team fights, simply because there's the endurance nullification from 17, the healing from 17, GoFrieza's rush deterrent, and then of course Hit's time skip is just another layer. It's overall a very beautiful team, I'm not going to lie, and if you're running that team at a very high star level especially, I feel like it's going to be a very hard team to overcome, simply because of all the rush deterrent on the team. And in the time that they're not getting rush deterred, Hits on the opposite end, my time skip is on, beautiful bow hitting you like, bro, like it's a lot to deal with. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not going to lie, I said that like twice, that's crazy. Legends put in a lot of work to make Universe Rep a good tag, and I don't think they've ever produced a quality tag like this in a while. Even though we did see a good upgrade for GT, outside of Movies and Future, which get the all-time glazing award from Toshi, Universe Rep coming out of nowhere as an existing new tag is actually a good team straight off the bat. They got all the equips, they got a solid 3 units, more than that in debate, but yeah, and they literally have rush negation factors that are just so hard to deal with if they're all put together. If you even wanted to take it a step further, you can actually take another unit from another team, such as Kid Buu, and just make the team even more annoying having him on the leader slot. It might mess with your equipment a bit, not too much, but it might, and then you'd have to change your equipment up. But regardless, the team is a very good team and it's flourishing well. Outside of that, I feel like more so the GoFrieza disappointment thing hits higher. But for me, I'm not going out using Universe Rep every game. I'm just not. Let me know if you're Universe Rep main in the comment section below. That's actually something I want to know. If it's something that you're very intrigued in using, if your main team, that you love it so much that you're putting all your eggs into that basket, let me know if that's you. But I think that's everything I've got to say for this video. Okay, that's going to be the end of the video. Let me know what you guys thought about my points that I raised, whether you're in agreement of the gauge being kind of wasted potential, because I really do think that you're not going to see it often. And I can't really speak on the longevity of this unit because I feel like they have Zenkai buff galore, they have a lot of good equipment, and Universe Rep is surely to prosper in the future. But outside of that, as the unit themselves, where I'm going to place them on the tier list, I'm not too sure right now, but I'll figure that out sometime soon. But specifically about the rush counter being something that you're not going to see flourish very much because it's more so just a deterrent. Let me know what you guys think about that. Let me know if you main Universe Rep. There's probably going to be like 4 guys, I don't know, but it's the most recent tag, so maybe there is actually a lot of people that use it. With that being said, press the subscribe button, man. We're on this grind to 50,000 subscribers. All my social media links are down below. Especially follow me on Twitter. Like I said, it's the best place for discussions. The first place I actually drop all my opinions. I'm gonna leave the video like that though, guys. I appreciate you guys for watching. My name's Zakashi, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.